Welcome back to another unfortunate day in Trump's world. Today we have an unfortunate update that came from the Supreme Court yesterday, or last night I should say. What is that ruling? Well, let's just take a look at today's reporting from Reuters that details the ruling and what contempt of court means. Note, ladies and gentlemen, that this still does not change the fact that Donald Trump and his administration and cronies were held in contempt of court in order to pay $1.9 billion. This article is titled, U.S. Supreme Court Allows Trump Freeze of Foreign Aid Funding Temporarily, by Brendan Pearson and John Kruzell. And the article begins, Washington, February 26th, yesterday. U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts on Wednesday paused a federal judge's order keyword, ladies and gentlemen, he paused. There's no indefinite pause or delay in this article. On Wednesday, paused a federal judge's order requiring President Donald Trump's administration to pay foreign aid funds to contractors and grants recipients. Chief Justice John Roberts issued an interim order placing on hold Washington-based U.S. District Judge Amir Ali, Ali's actions that had imposed a deadline of 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday night, last night. My editorial edition. Chief Justice John Roberts provided no rationale for the order known as an administrative stay, which will give the court additional time to consider the administration's more formal request to block Ali's ruling. Roberts asked for a response from the plaintiffs' organization that contract with or receive grants from the U.S. Agency for International Development and the State Department by noon on Friday. Tomorrow, my editorial edition. The order came after the Trump administration, said in a court filing Wednesday it had made final decisions terminating most U.S. foreign and contractors or foreign aid contracts and grants, while maintaining that it cannot meet Ali's court-ordered deadline. Either these pricks can meet the deadline, or they just choose not to. I suspect that they just choose not to because they're corrupt and they're completely fascist and racist. Continuing with the article. The administration is cutting more than 90% of the U.S. Agency for International Development's foreign aid contracts and over $58 billion in overall U.S. assistance around the world, a U.S. Department spokesperson said, separately calling the cuts part of Trump's, quote, America First agenda, quote. The foreign aid funding dispute arose from a pair of lawsuits brought by the aid organizations alleging that the agencies have illegally frozen all foreign aid payments. The Trump administration has kept those payments largely frozen despite a February 13 temporary restraining order from Ali that they be released and multiple subsequent orders that the Trump administration, comply, culminating in the Wednesday night deadline. Lawyers for the U.S. Justice Department have maintained the administration has a right to suspend its agreements while it reviews them to determine whether they comply with the administration policy. Let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, no, absolutely not does the administration of Donald Trump, the fascist, have a legal right nor the authority to freeze federal funding. This is an immediate abuse of power, and it violates federal law. What federal law does it violate? It violates the Administrative Procedures Act. Continuing with the article. The review is now complete, the administration said in its new filing. It said USAID has made final decisions to cancel nearly 5,800 awards while keeping more than 500, and that the State Department has canceled about 4,100 awards while keeping about 2,700. So, let me get this straight. They still want to cancel funding or keep the funding freeze, yet they're now saying that they supposedly have completed this complete bullcrap and bogus investigation. Continuing with the article. An administration official said in an earlier court filing that grounds for terminating contracts include that they were related to diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility efforts, or were deemed wasteful. That just... Okay, I'm gonna really quick pause here, folks, and fact check this supposed claim of diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI is not at all wasteful. In fact, because of Trump doing this DEI BS, he is dangerously making our skies unsafe to fly. That is an immediate abuse of power. Continuing with the article. Trump has taken a hard line on programs related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, signing an executive order in his second day in office last month, directing federal agency chiefs to dismantle DEI policies. The administration said on Wednesday that Secretary of State Marco Rubio had ordered that past due invoices from the plaintiffs for work for before January 24 had ordered, when the payment freeze began to be, quote, expedited for payment without the ordinary vetting procedures in a good faith effort to comply with Ali's order. It said that while some money would be paid on Wednesday, full payments could take weeks. Trump, a Republican, ordered a 90-day pause on all foreign aid on his first day in office last month. That order and ensuing stop work orders halting U.S. aid operations around the world have jeopardized the delivery of life-saving food and medical aid, throwing global humanitarian relief efforts into chaos. USAID administers some 60% of U.S. foreign assistance and disbursed $43.79, $43.79 billion in fiscal 2023, according to a Congressional Research Service report this month. Its workforce of 10,000, of which about 2/3 serves overseas, assisted about 130 countries. Trump's administration on Sunday said it was placing all but leaders and critical staff at USAID on paid administrative leave and eliminating 1,600 positions. Employee unions have sued to challenge the cuts, though a judge last week allowed them to go ahead. Ali, who was appointed by Trump's Democratic predecessor, former President Joe Biden, issued his temporary restraining order to prevent irreparable harm to the plaintiffs while he considers their claims. The plaintiffs allege Trump has exceeded his authority under federal law and the U.S. Constitution by effectively dismantling an independent agency and canceling spending authorized by Congress. The plaintiffs have said that the administration has not done anything to comply with the restraining order, and some have said they will shut down within days if they are not paid. Quote, the lengths that the government is willing to go to flout a court order, all for the goal of ending life-saving humanitarian assistance, is staggering, end quote. Allison Zeev said, who is a lawyer representing two plaintiffs, AIDS Vaccine Advocacy Coalition and Journalism Development Networks on Wednesday. My editorial edition. Other plaintiffs include International Development Company, DAI, Global and Refugee Assistance Organization, HIS. Both Ali and a Rhode Island federal judge, in a separate case over a broader federal payment freeze, has castigated the Trump administration for failing to follow their orders. The Trump administration, in both cases, my editorial edition, has maintained it is trying in good faith to interpret and comply with the orders. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm gonna fact check this statement from the Trump administration, because yet again they lied. They lied actually about two things. What are they? Well, the fact that they're simply trying to comply with court orders, but they're saying that they don't have to, is what they're pretty much saying. And it is what they're saying. The second thing they are lying about is that it's in good faith. They do not know anything, ladies and gentlemen, about good faith whatsoever. That is going to do it for today's legal breaking analysis video update, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy this legal breaking analysis video update, granted it's unfortunate that Justice John Roberts, Chief Justice Correction, is allowing this whole federal funding freeze to go forward temporarily, meaning that Donald Trump is still not off the hook. He's still not off the hook, even with this temporary order from Chief Justice John Roberts. What is contempt of court? This still doesn't change the fact that Donald Trump, and his administration were held in contempt of court and were ordered to pay $1.9 billion in foreign aid to institutions. What is contempt of court? Well, it's simply the court and the judge saying that you willfully and willingly disobeyed and violated my court order. Hence, Donald Trump and his administration were held in contempt and ordered to pay $1.9, almost $2,000 billion in foreign aid to institutions. In short, yes, that is what I just told you guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the bell icon and click the all options when you go to click how many, if you want to be notified of all of my legal analysis videos, or if you just want to be notified of some. The bell icon is right next to the subscribe button on the right hand side. It does not cost anything. Another way you guys can stay up to date is if you would please follow me down on my social medias down below. I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and Threads. There you guys will be able to stay up to date on when I posted a legal breaking analysis video to the channel. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope that you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you guys in the next legal breaking update analysis.